Hey everyone, I wanted to give you all a little informational primer about restricting access to activities and items within your course. There's actually two ways to do this, and one of them is very useful and the other one can actually cause issues with the gradebook. So when you're in your course, click on the Turn Editing On button so that you can actually go in and edit an item, and let's just choose this graded assignment here. Go to Edit Settings. And once you're on that page, you're going to see a whole bunch of different blocks down here. I will close all of them just so we can get to them easily. The general one's always open. That's where you put in your information. You all know that. But there are two we're going to be looking at. The second block, availability, and the last block, restrict access. In availability is where you can actually set when submissions are allowed from. So this gives you a start date. So if you only want people to be able to submit for week two's assignments starting with the beginning of week two, you can put that in there. All you got to do is enable it and choose the date. The due date, of course, self-explanatory. After that point, students would receive no grade for it. And if they were to get a reduced grade or something, that would have to be manually handled by you. The cutoff date actually means that after a certain point, they cannot submit anything. So you can make a due date be a hard date as well. But if you had, anything after Monday is going to be 20% off, and then after Wednesday you can't turn anything in, you could have a due date from Monday and then a cutoff date of Wednesday. So that's all pretty easy to handle. You can choose those dates and times and everything, actually get down to the minutes, which is nice. So if you do that, a student will still be able to see the item within their course. So they could go and they could see assignment 1 and click on it, and it would say, you can no longer take this because it's had a cutoff date, or this was already due and it would be overdue by this many days. The second option is down here in restrict access. And you add restrictions and it gives you a set of options, and you can use a date restriction. And so sometimes we've seen instructors put in a restriction to mirror what they've got up here. So the restriction would say, from this date, they would actually be able to see it, and you can add another date, and then after that date, they wouldn't be able to see it. It works much like this availability stuff, the difference being that before it's available, a student cannot see the item, and after it has been closed, they can't see the item. It just disappears from their page entirely. And there's two problems with that. One, if you have a student looking to see what work they're going to need to do for the next week or further on later in the course, they won't see it, and they may think that they have less work that week, though they should read the syllabus. But that can cause issues with the course. The second thing is that hidden items don't show up on a student's grade report. It can be set so that the grades for those hidden items do, so they would see an accurate average for a category, but they wouldn't see the 5 quizzes that make up their total quiz grade. And that can cause issues when we have students calling and emailing and saying, where are my grades? I don't know what's going on. So it's best to not use the restrict access section to do any sort of date restrictions. You can use other access restrictions like we do with course evaluations, where you need to finish something before another item can be accessed. And these are all pretty self-explanatory for that. But I just wanted to keep you all up to date and let you know about that. This is super useful for managing dates and making sure that if someone does something late, you can tell when it is. But if you're going to be doing that, just use the availability section and everything should be great. All right, thank you. We're going to have some documentation written for you all on this too, if that's the way you prefer to have it. And thank you.